It's Lori, Late Night Lori, from Lori's Little Bit of Craftin', coming to you from Wisconsin. Let's see if we've got sound and all the things. It's always an adventure. All right, looks like we're good. My iPad is a little behind. There we go. Alrighty, so it's a little behind. I don't know if I can force it to catch up. Maybe. So, welcome. Lori from Lori's Little Bit of Crafting. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States coming to you. We're going to pretend it's Thursday, March 19th at 11:59 p.m. I'm 4 minutes late. I was on the phone for a while, and before that, I actually took a nap because it was a busy day. So all things Stampin' Up! Announcements, new products. There's a whole bunch of things coming up that are super exciting. I'm really looking forward to them. But you can find all my things at latenightlori.stampinup.net. The images I use are all copyright Stampin' Up! It's registered trademark. Just given that disclosure, I am pretty much only Stampin' Up! Stuff because I love all the coordinated stuff that I can shop online, and it all just gets delivered to my door and I don't have to go all over the place. So let's do a few quickie announcements while people are joining on with me. We've got a virtual album retreat coming up April 29th, April 30th, May 1st. It runs from 2 to 9 Mountain Time. So I'm in Wisconsin, so it'll run from 3 till 10. The first day, the 29th, I think there's going to be 4 spreads, 2-page spreads done. And then the 30th and the 1st, I think, is when they're doing 3 spreads each because there's 10 scrapbook layout spreads. This kit is available for purchase now, all right? It is $250 in the United States, but you get a lot of stuff. And if you're a demonstrator or if you want to join my team and become a demonstrator or a kitnapper or a hobbyist or whatever, you get a discount on all your stuff. So we did get a preview of some of the spreads that are going to be done. Well, all of them. They gave us previews of all 10. I think it's going to be really fun. They share a lot of new techniques, different ways of doing things that you might not think would go in your memory keeping. I'm not originally a memory keeper, but having done this virtual album retreat when they offered it in 2025, I love doing them. Hello, Rosa. Welcome. And this kit, you get all kinds of stuff. So you get 2 stamp sets. And it says 2 stamp sets, but I see 4 things here. So let's see. 2 stamp sets. You get designer series paper, which is going to be one-sided because it's going to, hello, Yuta. It'll be marked on the back with the cutting guides. You get some 2-tone cardstock. There's going to be pre-cut images. There's stickers. There's embellishments. There's linen thread. There's a golden glow, which is a new in color shimmer brush. That is a new product coming in that I'm super excited. It's like Wink Stella on steroids. There's going to be a white gel pen, another new product for Stampin' Up. You're going to get memory protectors for your 12 by 12 pages. You're going to get some flip flops, so we know there's going to, or flip flaps rather. So you know there's going to be some interactive things on some of the pages and some photo placeholders. So there's a lot in here. Plus, you have 3 days of instruction by people from Stampin' Up! Coaching us through everything along the way. So it's pretty cool. Product of the month is available. This is that Notes of Spring. I haven't played with it yet. I keep saying maybe tonight, maybe tonight, maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow, because I'm going to work on just a paper pumpkin alternative, I think, tonight. But with the qualifying order, you can add this to your cart for just $5. We have a catalog that is quickly closing. So May 4th, the current ink pads are not going to be removed from the catalog. All right, they will be in the catalog. The new in colors that are coming in May will be the new ink pad design, but all of the old colors are being carried through 2026. 2027, I don't know if it's in January or if it's in May. If they said, I kind of forgot it. But they will eventually all be rolling over into the new ink pad design, which if you're not familiar with it is this. Don't see that color because that might not be a color, but these are magnetic pads. They're awesome. They're felt, so they're going to hold more ink. They're going to distribute the ink better. And I think we'll get better images because you're not going to have that squish, squish, squish where you can get so much ink on your pads that you get bad images. But these are super, super cool. You can even open them with one hand. So my people that have arthritis and even myself with some thumb issues, they're awesome. All right. So this catalog is going out May 4th. The annual catalog is going out May 4th. We're getting to that period of time where some of the things in the catalogs are going to become unavailable. If they're not going to carry over into the next selling cycle or the next product cycle, once they're gone, they're gone. All right. And that goes for the current in colors that are from 2024 to 2026. So that would be our Petunia Pop, our Summer Splash, our Shy Shamrock, our Peach Pie, and the Pretty in Pink. Those are all in colors that are retiring in May. All right, so keep that in mind. If those are colors you really like, and if you don't have like a re-inker, or if you don't think you have enough cardstock, you might want to order those now, if they're still available. A lot of times those products, the alcohol blends, re-inker, some of those things start to sell out as people stock up on them knowing they're going to be discontinued because we have a new catalog coming. We are going to a new catalog format. It's more like a magazine, actually. There's still a lot of ideas in here, but it's more product centered. All of the catalogs will be, you know, between like 80 and 90 some pages, but they're not going to overlap anymore. So we're going to have a January to April, a May to August, and a September to December catalog. They're not going to overlap. We'll still have online exclusives. We'll still have product of the month. And we'll still have kids collections. But the catalogs now, I'm really excited about this because what happens with me is I get that annual catalog, and it's great because it comes out in May. So we've got a few months to have fun with it. And then we get a mini catalog, and we all forget about the annual catalog because then we get another mini catalog in January. And for like 8 months, that annual catalog gets put in the corner like a stepchild. So I'm excited about this change. Now, there are going to be core products in every catalog. So we'll see inks and colors and some of those tools and adhesives in every catalog. So if you're sharing these with somebody new, they'll be able to have all of the things. They can see all of the things. Some people need a paper catalog. I like a paper catalog, but I find I do a lot of things online now because I'm familiar with where to find all the staples that I need. But somebody new might not know where to find those staples, right? So some of those core items are still going to be in every single standalone catalog. So we're going to do 3 catalogs a year. I'm excited. And then this is just to conceal my mess. So no big surprises. I was doing the paper pumpkin kit last night, and I didn't think I would be able to do any more alternatives because, excuse me, because I had a class today, and I figured each of my ladies would do all of the cards that I had left over because we always do 3 cards. Hey, Juju. So we always do 3 cards, but I had 2 already designed for them. So this was their 3rd card, and I only needed enough for all of the ladies. So I still have some leftover pieces. So we're going to play around a little bit. And you can see I've pulled out my Everyday Arches dies. And I have an idea in mind, so we're going to see if it works. All right. So with all my jibber jabber, how is everybody? How was your day? Is everybody glad we're at the end of the week? We're at Friday, although any of our South Pacific folks, Finland, Germany, you're already in your Friday, probably partway through your Friday. Juju, I might have missed it yesterday. How's your leg coming along? Everybody's quiet today, huh? Rosa, you got some hot, hot weather. Oh, that's right. Tomorrow is the first day of spring. I think we're supposed to be pretty mild. I think we're going to be at about 50. Vicky, welcome. You've not been here for a bit. Nice to see you virtually. Did you come for the hummingbirds? But you like butterflies. But I'm going to actually do some butterfly things. See? So let me just shift some of this stuff aside. I have an idea in mind, and I don't know if it's going to work or not. I didn't practice it. I just kind of started cutting some things out, flipping through my head what might work. So aside from the Paper Pumpkin Fluttering Garden Kit, oh, your first irises are blooming already? Wow. My irises are about this tall, a couple inches tall. MacMan noticed the tulips are coming up in the front yard. My tiger lilies along our garage, which is a southern exposure, they're about 3 inches tall. So all of the things are starting to come up, and our backyard is just soaked. Oh, hummingbirds and butterflies. Perfect. You must have telepathically heard that I was doing butterflies and dragonflies. Fun. So I did the kit kind of as they were designed, but we added some color. I thought they were just a little too plain for my liking. So last night when I did these, here's the sample, and we just added some ink blending around here. Very pretty. Pretty quick, too. And then this one, we did some pulling of ink from the old olive that we used to stamp the foliage element. So instead of the basic gray, we did an old olive. And then I used the blender pen to just move some of that ink. And then we used some of that petal pink to color in the little floral pieces. So that I thought turned out a little more upscale than just the black and white. And then the last one, we did some more with our blending pen, and we just picked up some color to put on our envelope. And we picked up color to do the flowers as well. And I moved the hummingbirds around a little bit. So I thought I would pull out the Everyday Arches because I just thought it would look kind of fun to look through an arch and see hummingbirds in there. And I pulled out my Days Like This Memory and More cards. I don't even know. I should look these up and see if they're still available. Give me a second here. Okay, so 166,911. These are out of stock. Sorry. If you need a couple of cards, let me know. I can mail them to you. I have a few cards left. So I apologize that I'm using something that is not in stock. They might be discontinued. I'm sorry. So you could use basic cardstock for what I'm going to do. But I thought what I would start with is, here's the card base from the Paper Pumpkin Kit. And I just cut down a couple of these. I think this is probably Daffodil Delight. It's got a little like hashtag kind of design on here. You could use any kind of low profile designer series paper. You could use you could leave it white, I suppose. But I wanted some bright color in there. So I'm going to go ahead and just glue this to the inside. Now these Memory and More cards are pretty versatile because they're two-sided. So you can use them for scrapbooking or memory keeping, or I typically use them in my cards because, again, I'm not a big scrapbooker, or I wasn't. But now that I have a granddaughter, well, she's 8, so I'm a late bloomer. There are things that I want to do more memory keeping of. So I'm going to put these on each side. I need to cut that one down, I guess. So we'll cut it down to 5.5. I thought I had done that, but I might have used one that I had already cut down. I don't know. So Juju, have you done anything with your paper pumpkin kit yet? I did catch your video yesterday where you had your cute as a bug, or sweet bugs, or whatever it's called. I can't wait to see what you do with those. I'm going to turn this, oh, I guess it doesn't matter. It's kind of distressed down on this side. I guess I'm going to turn that around so the distressed side is at the bottom for both of them. So that's going to be my inside. It's going to be nice and bright. Now, for the front, I am going to, I don't know how much bright I want on here. I might want a whole lot of bright. I don't know. These card bases are just very vanilla. They're gray. They're not really very vanilla, but they're plain. They're very plain. So let's just do some cutting. I'm just going to start doing some cutting so that I don't overthink things too much. Let me get my cart. And I'm going to set up Bossy Bessie over here so I don't have to move everything. And we're going to go ahead and cut this balmy blue in an arch. Because I thought we could maybe we should cut this one in a bigger arch, and then we could still see some of the back. I don't know. What do I want to do? This made a lot of sense in my head earlier. We'll wait for you, Juju. Let's just cut a few of these out. I should have come and maybe tried to figure out what I was going to do a little bit more, but I was on the phone with a friend for, I don't know, it was over an hour. It was like an hour and 10 minutes. So that's going to go here. I think we need to cut this. Maybe we should cut a whole lot of hair. Let's work on the inside. See, I just don't know for sure what I want to do. So I'm going to cut this one down also because I thought those were pretty. I might not use all of these, but I'm going to have them cut. Welcome back, Juju. I just want to have them all cut. All right, I feel kind of like a crazy person today. So I think what we're going to do, maybe we'll put a window in here. Maybe I should have done this as like a trifold. Too late now. Well, I still could, but it wouldn't matter. All right, so let's go to the inside because I have a better idea what I wanted to do on the inside. So I took a strip of, I cut one of the card bases in half. And I took the strip that, oh, hi, Allie. I took that and I cut it down to 4 inches. And then I scored it at every inch. And I have a strip that, this one's 3/4 of an inch. That one's 3/4 of an inch. I had some that were an inch. They're here somewhere. I know they're here because I had them. I had a bunch of them. Here they are. I knew I had them. So these are 1 inch. So we're gonna make, we'll see how it works out. We're gonna make kind of a layer card on the inside. We'll see if it works out. So I'm gonna put just some multi-purpose liquid glue on the one side. And I'm gonna put this about in the middle. I'm gonna go inside that fold line though. Okay. And then we're gonna go ahead. We were talking about sore thumbs and I can feel it when I'm trying to squeeze my glue. I think that comes from having helped my senior gals today during their class. I did cards that were a little more, they were higher on the difficulty level for them today. All right, so that's gonna go like so. And we're gonna force this so that it lays flat. And closes all the way. So that just means I probably shouldn't have put glue quite to the edge. Because sometimes when you do this, the card doesn't open quite all the way, but I like it when it opens and goes flat. All right, so we are going to take this piece and we're gonna put it here. All right, so let's put glue here. I've done these kind of cards before, but I had to kind of be careful because I wanted to make sure that my layer wasn't going to hang out the side of the card. So when I measured this up, what I did was I took my layer and where my inch comes here, whatever layer I had to make sure wasn't bigger than 3 1/4. All right. Yeah. But, you know, all of my gals really enjoyed it. They were a little more challenging today than I sometimes make them, but they were all really happy with the challenge. And we still got done in our 3 hours. So I was a little concerned because the first card, we were over an hour. We're probably like an hour and 10 minutes or hour and 20 minutes. I'm thinking, oh my goodness, this is taking a lot longer than I thought it would. Hi, Tanya. But then the second card wasn't quite as difficult. And then the last card I did as that paper pumpkin one, and it was fine. All right, so here's this. So that's kind of cool. Now, I have another one, and we're gonna put this one here. But I'm thinking I might want to do a different one that's a little bit smaller because we're going to use, I had another little piece, I guess this one. We're going to make this a little bit smaller, but it could still be 1 inch. It'll still work. So let's just do it. Let's just do it. How are you, Tanya? So this one I'm going to go ahead and put this at the edge of that other layer. And then, Allie, I just got, must be a Facebook message. It vibrated on my phone, on my watch, I mean. So this one, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to put the glue quite to that 1 inch score mark, so that we can force it flat. And then this one we're going to put right up against there. And I kind of have it so I've got a little bit of border down here. Do you need me to zoom in a little bit? Are we good? Did I? Oh, I didn't do that right. I need to put a little bit more glue. Silly me. I need to fold my card down so it adheres to here. No harm. So now this is going to go here. All right, so we'll put glue here. And I'll try to line it up. So it's right about there. Oh, that didn't work. That's too big. How did I do that? I'm going to have to do, we'll just do a smaller arch, that's all. So I need to do an arch that's, let me get my little ruler because math is hard. I need to do an arch that's about 2 inches. So is this one, that one's a little bit bigger than 2 inches. This one will work. So let me get a new card because this has glue, it's got adhesive on it. So luckily I have one more. I think I want this big butterfly here. So let me cut out another one. So do what I say, not what I do. Because that obviously didn't work. I wasn't paying attention to how much space I needed. But it's all right. We figured it out. All right. So now let's put a little bit more adhesive on this again. Third time will be a charm, right? All right. So now this can go. Yes. This can go here. And I think that'll actually be better because we can see more of the card behind it. There. All right, so just make sure that when you're doing your layers, that wherever your tunnel is, don't make your piece bigger than what you have left that's not stuck on. Does that make sense? I don't know. I'm probably talking crazy. All right, so we're gonna put this on here. But I'm not going to glue it yet. And I'm going to cut another arch out of this, and we're going to raise it up so that we can see the blue behind. Because I want this to kind of be like we're looking out a window, because we're going to use these hummingbirds in here, probably the smaller ones. We can probably put a hummingbird in here. That's a lot of color going on, but the colors are very similar. Or we could put one in here. And I'm going to put a white arch in here to write on. So let's see if... I don't know if the next bigger arch will be too big. That can't be the next bigger one. Looks like I'm missing an arch. Let's see if I'm missing one or not. I am. There's got to be one in here, and that's probably the one that I want. So where am I missing an arch? That's going to be that one, and it's going to be too big anyway. So that's the one that I'm missing. I just cut it too. What did I do with that? That's crazy. All right, so anyway, let's use this one. This should work. And we're going to put a nice little white piece here for whatever message we want to write. Okay, so let's find some basic white. It is like a puzzle. I know I didn't hear it drop. It'll turn up next week. All right, so let's go ahead and do this one piece. And the funny thing, I just cut that blue one. I just cut that. I don't know what I did with it. Oh well. Hopefully I didn't dump it. Oh, I did. I dumped it in my recycle bin. All right. Good thing MacMan doesn't touch the recycle bin. All right, so we're gonna put this in here, but I think I wanna stamp something on this as far as a sentiment first. Because we're gonna be able to put that kind of right up to the edge so that we've got a little edge of yellow in here. I just thought the inside being all yellow was gonna be nice and bright. Is that too much yellow, do you think? All right. So let's find, what sentiments do we have? Do we have sentiments from this one? Wishing you a happy anniversary and birthday wishes. No, we're gonna get something else. So Tanya, you haven't been, I'm a little behind on the comments. Okay, so Allie, those are new pictures that you sent me from the first ones, because you sent a couple yesterday, I think, right? I'll try to get them posted. So Tanya, do you get paper pumpkin kits? I think we're gonna do a round of hellos and do Oh Happy Day. I think that might look good in there. So one of the other new products that we're getting is a hybrid basic black ink. Oh Happy Day. That should work there, right? Now what color do we want to do? I think maybe I'll get Secret Sea. I think these are a little off kilter. I think Secret Sea will work. I don't have that one out here. Although Night of Navy would work. No, I'll get Secret Sea. Maybe I'll get Secret Sea. I don't know. Oh, here it is. It's already on my table. So Vicki, have you seen the new stamp pads? Who has not seen the new stamp pads? Anybody? All right, so let's go ahead and do right about there. I think that might work. The other thing I was going to do is I was going to use the yellow to make our little riser pieces, but too late. It's already glued together. That turned out good. All right, so now we can put this in here, and I'm going to line it up so that it goes to the bottom of this other piece, and we'll have just a little border. All right, so let's put some multi-purpose liquid glue here. Don't you just love it when I'm clueless, when I don't have any idea of what we're making? Crazed woman. All right, and I'm gonna turn this, yes, the magnetic closures are awesome. I can actually do it with one hand. I'm kind of excited about that. So I'm making sure that I've got this bottom lined up here. And then I've got just like a 1/16 of an inch or an 1/8 inch and the same border there. So that when we open it, that's kind of our wow. And if we have, we could probably put a little hummingbird over here. I like that. So, yes, a hybrid black. It'll work with Stampin' Blends and and water-based markers. It won't stamp on the window sheets? I hadn't heard that. I'll have to try. Because we need something, because you have to have something to stamp on window sheets, something that's permanent. I did hear, though, that you have to let it dry for a couple of minutes before you work on it so that it doesn't smear. If you work on it before it's fully set, it can still smear. So I think the video that I was watching from Stampin' Up! Said like 2 minutes. All right, so I love the inside. Can we just look at the inside so I don't have to figure out what to put on the front? That probably won't work, will it? All right, so we're gonna put some of this here. And we're going to, put this in here. We're gonna make another arch. Oh, do I want, I think I want this one. Because I'm gonna have this here, and then I'm gonna have blue around it, and then I'm gonna have, I think, yellow on top of that, and then we're gonna put some things around it. Does that make sense? This is gonna be a little thicker. There's gonna be some extra layers here from normal. So we're gonna kind of make a frame out of the blue. I think that's what I wanna do. So I'm gonna get some Post-it tape. And get this lined up so it doesn't move too much. And we'll see if what's in my head works out on paper, right? All right. That might be a little too narrow. My card, it's bigger than my card. All right, so let's try this again. Let's make this a little bigger of a frame. That'll work. Let's try this again. Maybe we'll go, yeah, we'll make it centered. We'll figure it out. Hopefully it'll be worth the wait. Hopefully it'll be cute. All right, let's try this again. Because I just want it to look like some blue sky. So that's going to go here. This is going to go here. It's going to go raised. This is going to go, I think, on top. So if we do this frame here, it should work. We'll try it. We'll try. Get my tape again. All right, so what do we want to work on next time? Do we want to do product of the month, or do we want to do some other new product that I have? So this I'm not going to use, but this is going to come up here. Oh, I guess I should cut that down to 5.5 inches, huh? That might help. So if we've got it at 6, we're going to take a 1/4 inch off the top and a 1/4 inch off the bottom. And that should get us at 5.5. So this is going to go here. This is going to go here. I'm going to make another blue piece because I want that to extend. I don't want it to be like paper pieced. So let me go get another piece of balmy blue. So if I just do, I don't need to make a frame. I can just make the balmy blue bigger because I need the opening bigger than this one. So I think if we go even here, what do I want to do? Actually, no. I'm making this more difficult than it needs to be. I just need a bigger piece of blue. So I need the blue to be about 4 inches wide. I'll get this figured out eventually. Okay. So now if we go here, if we put this in the center of here, now I think I've got it, because then this is going to go on top and some of the blue will show. That's what I want. Oof. It's an adventure, hey? All right, so that I don't need. All right, that I don't need. So now this is going to go here. This is going to go here. This is going to go here. And we're going to have just a little edge of the white there. So I'm going to trim this down. I'm going to trim the blue one just a little narrower on each side so that I can attach that to the yellow piece. So if we're at 4, so 3/4, it's about the same. So let's just do an 1/8 inch and an 1/8 inch. That should be better. And then I could probably even make this smaller. No, that'll be all right. All right. This is coming along. Now, that would look kind of pretty because then we can still see this. So I'm going to glue this to here because I like the stitched look. I know it's a struggle to keep up with me sometimes. I get it. But then we're just going to have that pretty stitching around there. So we're kind of making a frame on our layer. But at least you can see my mishaps and then decide if you want to try it. You kind of know what I intended. All right, so this, I'm going to center this in here so that we can see all of the words. And then I'm going to put some adhesive on here. I'm just going to put some tear and tape, I think. It's coming along. All right, so let's put this back on here just for positioning because I want the words to show, right? But I'm going to raise up this blue layer, so that's why I didn't stick it to the blue. All right, so that can go about there. All good things. And again, I apologize that this memory more card isn't available anymore, but if anybody wants a couple of these, I have a few to share. So if you want a little sampling of these, because you can't purchase them anymore, if you want to make something like this, let me know and I will share. I have just a few. I didn't think, oh, I have some more over here. So I have quite a few to share if you want to share. If you want some, let me know. Shoot me a message. All right, so this I'm going to put up on, I think I'm going to put on some strips. So we'll put the strips around the edge. Alright, so we'll do 2 about this long. I love these strips. They're so convenient. They're a little deeper than our dimensionals are right now though. So just keep that in mind when you're using them. Which works good for the shaker cards. Ooh. That's something I didn't think about. We could have put some shaker elements in this. Should I do that? Should I make this into a shaker card? I could just put a window sheet on here. Oh, what do you think? Should I do a shaker card? How wild and crazy would that be? Because I still have, go for it. Juju, you're all in. I love that. We're going to put this up here. And then I'm going to put some more closer around our thing. But let me get a window sheet on there first. Let me go get some window sheets. And our little elements. So let's see how big I need a window sheet to be. So we need 2 3/4 by about 4. 2 3/4 by 4. Oh, seriously, this one is empty already? How did that happen? I put this away with no window sheet in it. Let me get another one. No worries, because it's a staple. I think I always have some window sheets. Vicki, you're all in for shaker card also. All right, so what did I say? 2 3/4? 2 3/4 by 4. I think I'll do 4 1/4. 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. See, it's kind of coming together, right? 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. And that package was open already. Who knew? All right. 2 3/4. I'm just going to cut this at 4 1/4 because that's a more standard width, and then 2 3/4. Okay. So that'll fit in there nicely. So let's get some tear and tape down here. For our window sheet. Spontaneous shaker card. Who'd have thunk it? Because usually I have to kind of think about them. Okay, how do I have to put this together? Normally I would have put my my adhesive strips around there. But that's all right. We'll just pile our little goodies in there and we'll lay this down. So I'm going to get my embossing buddy and I'm just going to go over this window a little bit and hopefully reduce static without leaving powder. And let's go ahead and put the window sheet on. That would be a good idea, right? So I just put powder on my glass mat because there was no window sheet there. It's late. It's been a long day. And I'm not really tired because I had a good nap. But I think I was so tired because I got some AFib issues, so that was going on. All right, now what I want to do is I want to put more foam sheets around here so that our elements stay more contained. And that way the little bit of tear and tape that's hanging over the edge here, the elements won't stick to it. I guess that's going to stay there. Now I could make that curvy around there, but I'm just going to make it straight. And I guess that little piece of foam came off of there, so I'm going to put a little filler piece in here. There. I think that'll be all right. And then this piece, we'll just push right in here. All right. All right, so I have these elements from the 12 Days of Crafting Advent Calendar. I think that's still on the last chance list. So I'm just going to put a bunch of them in here because I think they'll work. They're a good set of colors, I think. And now I should probably put my embossing buddy across here to reduce any static. And then we're going to take our adhesive pieces off so that I don't have to do this twice. Oh, and I have one little element that must have been stuck on my finger. All right, and this I'm going to try to kind of center here. How fun is that? And then this piece, I was going to raise it up a little bit, but that's going to make it really big. But I want to add some dragonflies, or not dragonflies, hummingbirds. And we'll put oh, we don't need a sentiment because the sentiment's already on here. All good things. All right, so I think what we can do is maybe we'll put some adhesive strips on the edges. There might not be enough room because that's going to fit right in there because we've got that frame that's going to fit right in there. I think we're just going to glue it on here. It's because if I raise it too much, it's going to be super, super thick. So let's just glue this on. And I'm not putting glue all the way to the edge because there is some overhang here. And I just want glue on where it's going to stick to the blue, that balmy blue piece. I could have probably just put glue on the balmy blue piece and that would have solved my problem. And I was telling my ladies today, my senior ladies, always put the glue on the smallest piece of paper. So what do? I put it on the biggest piece of paper. Do as I say, not as I do. Nice and bright. And let me get rid of some of these pieces of debris here. And then we can do a couple of hummingbirds. Oh, hello, Dawn. Welcome. And I'm kind of leaving the wings kind of fluttering there. Oh, and I got a little glue on the window sheet. Bummer, it's smeared. I think it was on my finger. So we're just going to put a little on the body here and on this wing. And we'll put this one over here. Fun. And then we've got some butterflies, the brass butterflies. We can put a few of those on. How fun is that? Well, that was just a random, it worked, hey? So again, these little elements are from that 12 Days of Crafting Advent Calendar. I think it's on the last chance list. You can use, obviously, any elements that you have. But that's fun. These Memory and More cards, I apologize that they're not available. But, you know, you could do something similar if you've got Designer Series paper or some nice little sentiments you can add on there. And then when we open it, we've got Oh Happy Day. And I think I want a couple more butterflies inside because I have them. I may as well use them, right? And the card's already thick, so it's not like those butterflies are going to add anything, any depth. And then you could put a little message on the back because there's really not a whole lot of room here unless you're just signing your name. But then we use up all of our, we get all of our butterflies as just multiple focal pieces in there. And we use the hummingbirds from the paper pumpkin kit. We used our brass brush or our brush brass butterflies. Let me see if those are still available. Seriously, those are gone too? Wow. You are holding your breath. Oh yeah, I can't just put 2. There's got to be 3. So I got 5. 5 on the front, so it's an odd number. And 1, 2, 3. Yeah. I have my habits. All right, so the brushed brass butterflies appear to be gone as well. Who knew? I thought I had some. Maybe it's a good thing I was using them up. I thought I had some more, but maybe this is the last of what I have. So use something else you have. Maybe you've got some dragonflies or some butterflies or something. Good luck trying to get a hold of MacMan because he is like fast asleep by now. It's 1 in the morning here. So I think that's fun. So, you know, there's nothing wrong with using stuff in your stash, right? So our Memory and More cards, Days Like This, Memories and More card pack. If you would like me to share some of these with you, shoot me a message. I will mail you off a few of them. And I thought I had another pack of the brass butterflies, but this may be it. So I apologize that I used those if they're if they're discontinued now, because that happens, but that just means we're getting more fun stuff, right? And let's get this stuff out of the way, make sure I've got all of my Everyday Arches dies. Get those out of the way. At least I found that one in my recycle bin. That was crazy. Thank you, Rosa. It turned out all right for being clueless when I started, hey? We have all those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. Whew. All right, and then I still have lots of pieces to make more alternatives from this kit, from this paper pumpkin kit. So that's all I have. That's all I have for tonight. I'm going to keep these arch pieces. Rosa, you're crafting now. What are you making? What are you working on? I figure people are doing stuff in their craft room when they're watching, either cleaning or crafting or something. It's just nice to kind of have company when you're doing it, right? That's all good. Oh, and then the envelopes that come with this kit. I don't know that I will use the envelope for this card because I'm not, you're working on a summer card, fun. I don't think I'm going to use this envelope with this card because it's not the right blue. All right. So I'll just do a regular white envelope, and I can use a Memory and More card to decorate the flap so that it coordinates with the card. I'll do that. Since it's going to be a thick card anyway, this might be one that I hand deliver to someone instead of mailing it, because this Memory and More card is pretty thick also, and it might come off in the postage machine. Maybe I should tell them to hand stamp it, right? Because I think that would work. Allie, you're working on cards for your video for tomorrow. Oh, it's going to be a shaker card. How fun. Had you planned a shaker card before, or was our random spontaneous shaker card your inspiration? I love shaker cards too, actually. I just want to make sure that's pretty well stuck on there. And then we'll have our Not Naked envelope, because who wants a naked envelope? We could use the stamp from the paper pumpkin kit that has the flowers on it, like the wildflower field image. This one, we could put that on the front. That could be fun. Shaker cards are fun. Oh, the beach time stamps. I think I have that one, right? Beach time, yeah. This one? I haven't played with this one yet. I need to. So stay tuned. There's going to be another Where in the World is Late Night Lori coming up. So I'm probably going to do some scrapbook pages with that. Just a little hint, little teaser there. Let's do our Secret C on here. Oh, Allie, you do at least 2 shaker cards each time, huh? Okay, I guess I didn't pay attention to that pattern. Not that there's anything in here with flowers on it. Well, there's some flowers there. So there's some wildflowers over here. It's all good. No, I do not believe Jamaica is on the list this time either. Maybe next time. One of these times you'll be right. All right, so let's get our blender pen, and I want to add some colors. So let's do maybe a little Gorgeous Grape. No, let's do Fresh Freesia and a little Old Olive. And we're going to put a little bit of ink on here. Oh, Hawaii would be fun. Actually, I've never been to Hawaii, but I think if we ever go to Hawaii, we will fly there and then do a cruise around the islands. Watercolor pencils would be fun, but that's not what I'm going to do. We're going to use just a blender pen. So this is just, I did this last night too. I don't think you were here last night, were you? We're just going to pick up some color and add it to some of these little floral pieces here. And it's going to look kind of abstract, and maybe will look kind of kindergartenish, but that's all right. I'm all right with that. And then to clean off your tip, you just have to take some scrap paper and just brush it till you don't have color coming off. This is a pretty deep color, so I think what I'll do is use the other end for the green. So this is a little less wet than using the water painters. So if you're not using the watercolor paper, that Fluid 100 watercolor paper, the blending pen is a good way to get a similar effect without saturating your paper or your envelope in this case. Blender pens are awesome, aren't they? And I am not one to, you know, a lot of people will squeeze the ink pads to get ink in the well here. And the new ink pad style, you can do that as well. I can't handle having dirty stuff in my stamp cases. It just doesn't work for me. So if you do, know that the new stamp pads will allow for that. They'll actually probably work a little bit better. All right, put a little green here and here. I probably should have put green on that one instead. And then let's just do a little bit of petal pink. You can see where this is getting lighter and lighter now as I brush it off. So then you know it's not going to track color. And then we'll just do a little bit. So I just put color on my block instead. The blender pens are out of stock. I didn't realize that. I have 3, 4, I've got like 9 of them. But I'm less likely to get that pilling effect because the water painters, sometimes I get a little overzealous and they get too wet. And if I'm not using the Fluid 100, it doesn't work so well. All right, so there we go. So now we have, whoops. Our nice little envelope that goes with our interactive card. I'm satisfied. It worked out all right, even though it was a little bit of a rocky start. Whew. It turned out all right. Yeah, this way it's just easier. I can just rinse it off or wipe it off and we're good to go. And with that, we're going to call it a night. And then any suggestions for tomorrow? What do we want to play with? Well, later today. Anything else we want to play with specifically for next time? Thanks for the hearts, everybody. That makes me happy. It's fun to share. And those of you who are in the balcony, feel free to join in the conversation anytime. We're kind of interactive here. And sometimes I even open it up for collaboration. Today I didn't because I was just a wild woman, I guess. Good night, Rosa. Thanks for hanging out. I'm just going to clean up a little bit here and get some things kind of put away. Those we'll use. Blocks can go away. I'm running out of blocks. I got a lot of stamps on there. My choice again, huh, Rosa? Thank you. That's a lot of pressure. I got a good scrap for next time. I will come up with something, obviously. Vicki, thanks for hanging out with us. I hope it was worth popping in since there's butterflies and hummingbirds. I'm glad that worked out that way. And I think I am just about cleaned up for the most part. Some of these things I'm going to leave out because I'm going to be creating tomorrow. We might have a guest stamper on Saturday. We'll see. There might be a random video. Our granddaughter is coming over tomorrow so she can hang out with us for the weekend. And sometimes she asks me to do a video, so we'll see. We'll see if she wants. So we might have a random little bit of crafting with Riley. Riley's little bit of crafting. All right. Good night, friends. Good night, Allie. Yeah, it's I'm not worried about the pressure. It's all right. I've had some really high pressure jobs. This job, find a job you love and you never work a day in your life, right? So I love this job. Thanks for sharing your time with me, everybody. I'm going to say goodnight and until next time. Happy crafting.